Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my May TBR and it's including Misery May. Now, I have manically busy this week because it's still the school holidays and I'm pre-filming quite a bit early because I've got a lot of videos on. Now, you would have seen my Spoonies TBR and some of these books are doubled up from that TBR. But I've tried not to double up too much. So I've tried to, you'll see the two. I think including my Spoonies TBR and this, it's at least 18 to 19 physical books in May. And that's not including the fact that I'm going to have an audiobook and an ebook for the Readathon. And obviously I probably will be doing other books for other prompts. Now, May is a month of 3 readathons. We've got the Spoonies Readathon I'm hosting with the lovely Naomi from Naomi's Booktube. I will link Naomi's channel down below. Obviously, and I will be linking my Spoonies TBR down below as well. But it's also happening that May is Misery May, which the lovely Gem from Gem of Books is hosting with Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I will include 3 books that are definitely fitting that readathon, but there are other books that I believe will fit her prompts. I will link Gemma's announcement video down below and Gemma's channel down below. But I've literally, on the day of recording this, found out that Marilyn from miserymay Mendoza, she's hosting May Mental Healthathon. I've not got any books specifically chosen for that, but she is mainly focusing on anxiety, and I think 1 or 2 of the books will fit their anxiety disorder. So and if I get time at any other point in the month, I will be reading that. So I will link Marilyn's announcement video down below as well. So that's like 3 readathons going on. I've got 2 buddy reads. I've got the TBR jar. And at the moment, I'm praying again that the TBR jar is going better. As you may have seen from the wrap up part 1. Oh God. I'm pre-filming so far ahead. I don't know what you would have seen, but the TBR jar has been a bit iffy again this month. Not as bad as last month, but it's been a bit iffy. And I had such high hopes. So first of all, I will show you my 2 definite buddy reads, and then I will do the TBR jar. I don't want this video to be too long because Thomas will kill me if I'm on it forever. So the first one is the next in the 7 Sisters series. It's The Shadow Sister by Lucinda Riley. I'm buddy reading this with the lovely Guy from Readathon. Hoping I can start the month with this because it's one I'm desperate for. And this is centered around Star de la Pease, so that's the 3rd sister. And this is the one that I believe is set in England. Like her history part of it is set in England, and it's sort of set around her past storyline is set around Flora McNichol, who lives around in the Lake District and lives close to Beatrix Potter. So that's sort of that sister. I don't know too much about it, but my mum said that she loved this one. And it's set in the Edwardian societies. Ooh. Oh, we get a bit about, it's the home of Ellis Keppel, who was one of the Edwardian society's most notorious players. And Star's learning about her journey. So that's Star's connection. This one is really chunky. It's even bigger. Oh, God. So this one is another one that's about nearly 700 pages. Great. This will take me a while. But I love reading this series with Gaia. I love reading only about 50 pages a day because it means that I get time to really absorb it and really get into it. And this series is an amazing series, so can't wait to get into that. Then my buddy read with Gemma, who's previously read a book, Gem, she's on Instagram, is going to be Verity by Colleen Hoover. This actually does also meet one of the darker prompts for Misery May. It's Colleen Hoover's thriller. It's a recent purchase for me, but we thought it would suit Misery May, and it's a dark, twisty thriller that will keep me up all night. So I will be reading this during the day. I don't want to know too much about it. Lowen Ashley is a struggling writer. Thomas is going to be in this video. This one is, however, is the complete opposite. It's only just over 300 pages, so we should fly through this. Now let's see what the TBR jar is going to pick for me. Please be nice. Thomas, your head's in there. I'm scared. Oh, that's the one that's jumping out. So here we go. Thomas has got run away, and it's a middle grade book. Yes, because that should actually lighten the mood. It's The Good Thieves by Catherine Rundell, I believe. So I can find it. I bet it's right down the bottom. No, it's right near the top. It's Catherine Rundell, The Good Thieves. Thomas, go away. And it's by Catherine Rundell. This is like a fantasy kind of book. A writer when Vita's grandfather is cheated out of everything he owns, he's determined to set things right. So with the help of 3 very unusual children, she puts together a death-defying plan that will take them on a world adventure across New York City. So that actually does look good. Let's have a look at it. Oh, it's a short one. All the joys of filming in school holidays. This one looks perfect. So that one will be a lot lighter in comparison to the fact that I've got all those heavy books for the May mental health, for the Misery May and my readathon. It will be good to have a jokey one to go in. I'm trying to decide whether I move my film so you don't have to see Thomas's head. Now, the next book I'm going to show you is the book for my Dickens read-along. I will be honest, you probably would have seen, but Martin Chuzzlewit did not go down well. But I've got Barnaby Rudge for May. Apparently, I think I was agreeing to read it with Charlie, my sister, and this one is probably one of the shorter Dickens, in the fact that it's only 650 pages? Less than 650 pages? So I'm going to tackle this a bit tougher, and I'm going to go for it and read it over the whole month. So I think I can do that. I need to divide the pages and work out how much it is. But I'm going to read this in big chunks, and it's about Barnaby Rudge. This is a vivid historical and political novel by Dickens, and it's centred on the No Pottery riots instigated by Lord George Gordon, who terrorised London in 1780. Dickens' targets are prejudice, intolerance, religious bigotry and nationalistic fervour, together with the villains who exploit these for selfish ends. This might again fit actually Misery May, so this would be quite good. So that's my Dickens book for the month. Then my series book that again is completely on the lighter side of it, which will help with all the harder books. And this is Why Mummy Doesn't Give a Beep. Trust me, I'm going to be needing to read this after cope it in May, because there's like 3 bloody bank holidays, so the kids are off 3 extra days. He laughs at me going, no. So this is the 3rd in the series. It's about Mummy dreams of a quirky royal cottages with roses around the door and chatty chickens in the garden. But life, as ever, is not going to plan. Paxo, Osco and Bisto turn out to be highly rambunctious rather than merely chatty, and roses have jagged thorns. And this is the 3rd in the series. It's the penultimate one in the series, and I absolutely loved it. So I know this is kind of a reread as well, but it's one that I really, really love, and it's going to lighten the mood. Now, the books that are definite for Misery May. My first one is my main. You only have to read like a Thomas Hardy to be part of Misery May, and I'm going to read The Trumpet Major, which is one of my classics for 2023 that I wanted to read. I really do enjoy Hardy's works, and this is one of his shorter ones. So again, it's only like 350 pages. So after bloody April, where I read some chunkers, this is quite good. But apparently this is a good one, because I think, and this also fits for my booktubers' favourite author of the month, and that is the lovely Tori from Good Strong Words. This Thomas Hardy is one of her favourite authors, and so that will fit that prompt. This is Hardy's distrusted 19th century effort to systemise history. The Trumpet Major he presents the human qualities of desire, conflicting loyalties, which he saw constantly undermining such attempts. The courtship of Anne Garland and her 3 suitors, the Trumpet Major John Loveday, his sailor brother Bob, and Festus Derriman of Yeomanry. I don't want to know too much more. It's a bloody Hardy, sort of fit Misery May, and it looks really good. And it's short, so that's definitely. The next one was to read a short story, so I'm going to be reading The Wessex Tales by Thomas Hardy. Again, this is all of the Wessex Tales, and even with all the short stories in this, it's only 243 pages. So I'm going to try and read like a short story a day, because I've been told not to read it in one go, so that will fit for that. And this is his first short stories selection, and it's first published in 1888, and it contains some of Hardy's most popular stories. So I know it contains this is the mysterious arrival of the 3 strangers, the christening of the hire thing. So it's got loads of short stories in it. It's got the distracted preacher, it's got fellow townsman, I don't know, the withered arm. So hopefully I'll like this. I'm not very good with short story collections, but it makes me do it, and it also gets an extra classic off my list. Then sort of another middle grade. So I've got 2 middle grade books which will help, and this is A Pocket Full of Stars, and that's matches one of the prompts because it's got stars in it, the title. It also, I think, matches my readathon because it's got Sophia and her mum rarely see eye to eye, but when her mum feels ill, something mysterious happens. Saf finds herself transported back in time to her mum's childhood home in Kuwait. And it soon becomes clear that this isn't a magical place, it's a game. It's a game, and Saf figures out how to play the game. She realises that opening her heart to the past is a key to changing the future. So this is another really... It matches the prompts, and it also is a really nice, light, short book to help with the hard-hitting ones. Then my favourite for the month, so this will be this is a previous favourite, which again you would have seen from my readathon, and this is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. It was literally, it's been on so many videos, it's one of my favourite books I've ever read. I didn't choose it specifically for the prompt, one of the prompts in my readathon, because it is a reread and it's one that I like. This is centres around Chloe Brown, who's chronically ill. She's got fibro, and she's a computer geek with a goal, a plan and a list. And almost but not quite dying, she comes up with a list of directives to help her get a life. Enjoy a drunken night out, done that. Go on a motorbike, done that. Go camping, I did that years ago, so it kind of counts. Have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex. Thomas is in the room. Yeah, does that. But aren't I naughty showing that? Travel the world with nothing but hand luggage. I have been to some places and I have done a random going across. And do something bad. Yeah, I've done a fair few bad things, but these little ones don't need to know that, do I? I better not share that. If I get a bit drunk, I do tend to share those stories quite a lot. But yeah, Life Chloe Brown was one of the first books I made me feel seen. It was a favourite book. Love it. Can't wait to reread it. So that's it. Then these are like my spring. These are 2 of my spring books. I think another one of those books is included in my spring books. And this is Confessions of Alleged Good Girl by Joya Goffney. This one tackles some very hard-hitting things, so I want Thomas to leave the room while this tackles. And this Monique lives a perfect life as a preacher's daughter, girlfriend of the town's golden boy, but it's not that simple. She's torn between her parents, who want her to remain their pure virginal daughter, and her boyfriend Dom, who wants to explore the more intimate side of their relationship. Tired of waiting, Dom breaks up with Monique and spurring her to discover that she has a medical condition that makes her far from perfect. Again, this suits a readathon and it suits lots of other things. But with the help from Sasha, an overly jealous church girl, and Reggie, the town's bad boy, she conducts a plan to win Dom back. But she must also face some home truths. So I'm really looking forward to getting to this. It's a good YA. Apparently I have been warned that it has got some hard-hitting bits in it, but it's again short and sweet. Looks really good. And considering all the other books in the month are very hard-hitting, that should be good. And then my historical fiction book, which I wanted to read in the spring month, and this is The Kitchen Front by Jennifer Ryan. And this is set in World War II, and this is 2 years into the Second World War, and German U-boats are frequently disrupting the United Kingdom's supply of food. In an effort to help housewives with food rationing, a BBC radio programme called The Kitchen Front launches a cooking contest, and the grand prize in the job is a job as the shop's show's first female co-host. For young widow Audrey, winning in the competition could be a chance to pay off her husband's debts and keep a roof over her children's head. This looks hard-hitting, but really good, and it's a wartime book, which I need, and it's one of my spring books, and it's one that will be great to get to. Now, the next one is a book that, again, fits my readathon, but it's also one that I wanted to read because it, apparently, I think one of my friends, Doodah, my brain, is Nikki from Red Dot Reads has read this. Families have secrets they hide even from themselves. It should have been an ordinary birth, the start of an ordinary family, but the night Dr. David Henry delivers his wife's twins is a night that will haunt 5 lives forever. For though David's son is a healthy boy, his daughter has Down syndrome, and in a shocking act of betrayal, whose consequences only time will reveal, he tells his wife that his daughter died, while secretly entrusting her care into a nurse. That is very hard-hitting. It will be very emotional, but again, it's one that looks really good. And then last but not least, Thomas has given me a book that is on the Women's Prize long list and probably will be on the short list. And this is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. It was a gift from the lovely Charlie from Charles Heathcote. It's the biggest book. It's one of the biggest books on this because it's 400 and something pages. And it is also one of the most gorgeous books. It's by an author that I know I love. I loved Hamnet. And this is set in the winter of 1561. Lucrezia, Duchess of Ferrara, is taken on an unexpected visit to the country villa by her husband, Alfonso. As they sit down to dinner in an icy hall, it occurs to Lucrezia that Alfonso has a sinister purpose for bringing her here. He intends to kill her. Oh, dark, scary. But this is one of my chunkiest, most beautiful books, and it's one that I wanted to read. So yes, Thomas is going to go away out this bit because I'm going to wrap this video up now. Thomas, put your head down. But, so that is my second part of the TBR, obviously, because you would have seen the first bit in the Spoonies Readathon. It's going to be a big, busy month. I wanted to fit, obviously, support Gemma from Gemma Books because she's one of my besties. I wanted to support Marilyn in the fact that I do think mental health is something that does need to be talked about more, and I hope I can read more books to fit that. I will try and do that as an added on. I do have a few extra books in mind that I will try and fit the readathon and fit all of the readathons, but they will be added in. I'm going to try and read a few ebooks, although because I think that's important as well. But yeah, are there any of these books that you think I should read at the start of the month? Any of these books that I should prioritise? Do you have any thoughts on any of these books? Let me know in the comments down below. Thomas is going to go away because I'm going to wrap down. Sorry about this. This is a bit of a disaster video, but there you go. I can't edit, so I can't clip him out. I know, you know me, my life. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.